everyone, Joshua Hanlon here, and today I'm joined by Martin Harris in his wonderful Lego build room here in Montgomery, Alabama. We'll be walking around and giving you some insight into how Martin builds and how he organizes his collection. We've featured a whole bunch of Martin's builds over the years. He's built some incredible Star Wars creations, some elves, some fairy tale. What else have you done?
History, fairy tale, elves, you're there, little kids things, just pretty much everything now. A little bit of mechanical works as well, so a little bit of steampunk.
Yeah, there you go, branching out. So we'll definitely look in the description for some videos that we feature with Martin, because he's had some awesome creations. You'll actually see some of his creations around here as we walk around. But let's just start on in here, Martin, then with kind of the wall behind us, and what do we have here?
Yeah, so we're post brick fair, right? So what you have is just, we'll start in the middle here. So I've got some remnants of my Troy build, some buildings. I don't think I showed you on the video how it works, but when I come back from a show, I'll often get my pieces and just kind of set them out, and I'll have a look at them and be like, all right, what needs to be done, what worked at the show, what didn't, if I'm going to show it again. Actually, this is a rare treat, the fact that I haven't destroyed everything post-show. Normally that's the case. But yeah, those are the things that are stacked up here. So Troy comes apart. When I finish my builds at the show, I'll just bag everything, all the accessories up, and put them into a certain area. This is my Trojan horse and a temple. I think you did a video on Rapunzel's tower.
Yeah, this is a great behind the scenes look at these builds we actually did with you at Brick Fair, Alabama. Now you can see.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so
comes.
This is the inside, or the top tower part of Rapunzel's tower. So you can see kind of how I made my little Technic beams there to kind of make it connected. And actually I put them at an angle to prevent stress at one particular area down there as well. So got that and various other pieces, more towers. So that's just some of the build remnants here. And then, yeah, just a variety of different bulk bricks. It's a bit bare because I've got a lot of builds that are kind of complete. But,
using the pieces?
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to filling up some of the boxes again. I'm going to buy some new ones or break something up. But
what's the lifespan of one of the, like say the Troy build or the tower build here? How long will you keep that together before you add it back to the collection?
Normally it depends. Like, I can take the one show, I'm happy. Second show, I'm like, okay, all right. If it makes it to a third show, that's the most it will ever do.
Okay.
But normally after the second show, I'm done with it. Or if it was really particularly hard to put together, like I made Endor, I think that one was 15 feet or something, 16 feet, I think, when I had it a few years ago. That was a one and done. Because you'll assemble it mainly at the show, and then it breaks on the way home, and I'll never do it again. Well, I said that, then I'd do it again a few years later, at a different way. Yeah, so Troy, I think I'm going to hold on to for a bit. Rapunzel, I'll hold on to for a bit, yeah, for a little while.
And so this looks like it's maybe more of the basic brick you organize down here in these bins.
Yeah, so and you're standing at the table, like, so I've done everything here so that I can reach what I need when I wanna get it. So yeah, down the bottom it's a bunch of unsorted stuff, right? So yeah, always have a lot of grey. So there's 2 big buckets of grey unsorted, a big black one unsorted. And because they're bigger, yeah, I'm often on the ground pulling them out, searching for that one little piece that I haven't found that's been sorted. And my disclaimer is my sorting is not amazing, but it works. But yeah, I like my 2x bricks, the 2x4s, 2x2s, all by colour in a big drawer that I can pull out and build with. I use them a lot, actually. And then as I go up, some of my other bigger bricks that I can maybe build with, so 1x2s, which I like a lot. If I have them in big quantities, I'll keep them that way. And I'll often build based off the quantity of brick that I have.
Sure, like the masonry brick sort of.
Yeah, and that was some of the purchasing from Lug Bulk, and I purchased a bit too much because I actually purchased most of it thinking I'll use it for Rapunzel's tower of the tan, and I don't think I made a dent in it actually. So I'll find some way to use it at some stage. And yeah, and then to the left is some of my unsorted stuff. So as I sort, when I sort, which isn't very often, as you'll see shortly, I like to sort by tiles, and I put all the tiles in a box. And you know, if I really want to sort them down further, I'll show you how I do that. And then like pieces that connect, and there's a technical term, but for me they connect differently than a sit on top.
Right, not a stud connection.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes, or a side stud connection,
okay.
or on the side, etc. And then up here, my builds have had lots of foliage over time. So, and I've got more around here, but I've got 3 buckets of different types of leaves and grasses and stuff up top, and
all the
different water pieces.
Studs on
yeah. You know, once you've got that, you kind of want to hold on to it. And again, I'm happy with it just being mixed. I'm never ever sort that in my life. And then I have actually up there in the top left-hand corner, I've got a wonderful collection of white flowers, which one day someone hopefully messages you and says, "Oh, where's that guy? Can I get his white flowers?"
Yes, if you're looking for a large purchase.
They were from my first ever build, which was the Battle of Hoth.
Yeah.
And it was the first ever thing I'd ever displayed, and I thought I was pretty novice, so I thought I could maybe put a flower down around my build. Thought that'd be nice. With more experience, I now know that would have been a terrible idea with air conditioning and people walking by. But I ended up getting lots of white flower pieces to kind of have snow and a texture, and I've got no use for them ever again. So, and then I think actually we've got some of my sunsets. So these are some of the ones. Actually, that's it. I think that's his first set there that I got him, which was one of the Dino World sets. And there's a castle one up here as well, a knight's castle. I don't know which one it is. It's there somewhere.
It looks like this right here looks like a castle set. Yeah.
It does look like a castle set, doesn't it? Yeah, Knight Kingdoms.
There you go.
Yeah, so I got all that in one piece, and I'll hold on to that. So those were ones I bought him before he really knew that he liked Lego.
Back when Lego actually cared about releasing a castle set.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a good castle set. He may have been 2 or 3 when I bought that for him, and may have assembled it at short notice on Christmas Eve, or it was a present from me to him. So, but yeah, that's what I have. And then some other boxes.
Is this all sealed up here? Or
no.
Okay.
It's some of it's sealed, some of it's we purchase it and think, I'll open that. That was a bad idea, and then we just put it there, and I'll pull parts. I think I pulled some Beatles for a Harry Potter scene I built once. I think some of these Harry Potter things I've pulled a character from. Yeah. Because I needed a hair, and now it's sitting there, and it's probably better stored. And my daughter likes Lego and really enjoys it. And these are the sets she often gets for birthdays and Christmas that never get open. We pull out a little character from it. But it is what it is.
Yeah, you've always got that section of just kind of picking apart whatever you need.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, so that's good.
Sure.
So, yeah.
So over here, then, it looks like we've got some of the bases from some of your big builds.
Yeah, and this year, it's the first time I've ever built my bigger builds and not really built the whole base as modular. So when I did my Rapunzel's tower, I had to make sure that the base was completely solid because I had so much weight pushing down. I didn't want a base plate to nudge out. So I actually cheated, but not a lot, and I glued some base plates down. So I think I put maybe 10 drops of glue, super glue in here. But that's all connected together, so I'm really pleased with how that works. And yeah, my Troy one, I did the same thing as well. Because I knew my transportation had a little bit of limited space in the car also. And I just wanted to try build in a different way. And so I've got those. I don't know what I'm going to do with them.
The base plates to boards here then for both of these?
Yeah, both of these. So glued the base plates to the boards, just the regular base plates. And again, I'm okay with that because I'll probably use that again because I think these sit about 4 foot by 3 foot like that. And that's a good size build.
Sure,
in my mind. So it'll get used by someone. If nothing else, we put it on as a table piece and build with it that way. But yeah, that's what I've got there. So I'll put it with that. And then over here, we've got some of my... This is like the main way I really sort. So the IKEA had the Trofar shelving, and this is my favorite way to sort things. But as I stand here and often build, this is plates. So I use a lot of plates in my builds, and everything's sorted by their main color, but not by size. Like just because I found I don't want to build by a 1x2 plate. Everything's like what sort of plate do I need? But then I do have some of the smaller ones en masse get down here and are sorted in these little containers.
Get some smaller compartments.
Yeah, and these fit in the IKEA drawers. These came from IKEA as well. I think there's some inserts for knives and forks drawers.
Oh, right,
cutlery
like
drawers.
kitchen sort of.
Yeah,
okay.
So they tend to fit and play nicely in the same sandbox. And then I have these bigger bins, which again come to like bulk stuff. When I'm breaking stuff up, I'll just go ahead and get my plates and just dump all my plates in a box. And when it gets full, I'll go ahead and sort that and kind of put them where they need to go. Yeah. So
it's a lot of by like color here, but then some piece type as well.
Color, and then yeah, some of the rarer, or like for me, when I say rarer, I was building this tower top for Rapunzel's tower. And there's not a lot of purple, so I had to order a lot of purple. And I was like, when I did that, I made sure that I kept the purple all separate. So this This was made a lot out of these 1x2 rounds, the 1x1 plates, and different sizes and everything. So yeah, I just didn't want to dump it all in because I'll never use it again if I do that.
Sure,
So,
yeah. Super convenient here with your table set up and then the drawers right behind you.
Yeah, and that works over here as well. Again, the things I use the most, I'm in easy range for. So I try to be efficient in what I'm doing when I'm building. It's the only thing I'm efficient in.
And since we're here at the table, I should mention your setup. So you've got a rather unique stance here.
Yeah, it's good, right? So you and I can stand here right now. We can build,
Perfect height.
You know, if we get a little, and you can have a seat if you want. So we've got my little seat that pops up for optional height, depending. You know, if I want to get a little, but you've got your button and you can raise yourself up. It's another. I think this is IKEA.
Oh, there we go.
So you can change your height, but not only that, but you can help me change the table if you'd like. So it's an IKEA top table, and my kids might take it and play on the floor with that tabletop. But if we want to lower it just a little bit, we can get extra low. Then we've got our lower table.
Oh,
and
so
look,
customizable.
Then here I am down on the floor, and I can do what I want, right? And
look at this.
And if I want a little nap, I can take it and then just raise myself.
Your kids come in here and find you sleeping on the floor sometimes.
I have probably been found asleep whilst building at some stage, or playing with my kids doing Lego. But in reality, so when I'm building something like this is high up, like so Rapunzel's tower, when it's set up on a high table, it's hitting the roof. So it allows me to have it stable and get up there and work on it instead of being on a ladder or something. So.
No, that's a great feature. There you go.
Backwards, a trip on it, and it'll be on the video, and you'll love that. So, but these are just build crates, yeah. So I'm big in reusing some things, and I had these to transport my indoor build from. Well, the last one I did 2 years or 3 years ago, and I'll use these to transport with. So I'll get what I use. Let's see.
Go into the secret behind the scenes.
This is the secret behind the scenes cupboard. Yeah. So I like to use these little drawer things that you'll use in toolboxes.
Yeah.
So I'll put them in there. And so when I transported this back, for example, that towel just sat in there with no padding around it, and that windmill sat in there, and it won't move unless I really go over big bumps or slam on the brakes. So these are really useful for transporting builds as well. And I think you can pick a 1x, or doesn't fit that base plate. It fits.
Like a 32 by 32?
32 by 32 fits in there quite nicely. So yeah, we'll stick this back on top.
Yeah. I like your system. It's very, I don't think I've seen this before, but like you said, it's very customizable. It gets the job done, so it works well.
Well, it works also. I like to build stuff as well sometimes. Like woodwork stuff, and it's the same thing. Works so I can raise my height for working on things, so it's got double usage. So yeah.
Great. So then let's see, well, I guess we should talk about these great builds you have on top here as well.
That's so kind of you to say they're great builds. I much appreciate it. Yeah, just a little bit of collection of hodgepodge, really. So this was one of the first things I ever built. And I've got some of the things of my kids, the first thing I ever built. So first show we did a Battle of Hoth, and I think it must have been when Frozen came out. And my daughter was younger, so I was like, I'll build you a little castle. I'll build it in a day. And I hadn't had the heart to completely break it up. I've pulled a few pieces here and there, but I keep thinking I'll go back and build a better, bigger Elsa castle. This one I do like. So this was, Brick Fair had a space theme last year, and it's my little hippo space vehicle. And my daughter will actually come in and still play with that, and the hippo's trapped, so he won't come out. So if I break it, I'm going to be killing a Lego hippo, and I don't want to do that. So we've kept that one. I think it's kind of cute.
No, that is. I don't think I remember seeing that at the show.
I don't think you came to it. It was Brick Fair Alabama. We had a few of them. Yeah, last year.
There you go. Okay.
And I was working on another one. This is my dabble in movement in Lego.
Sort of J.K. Brickworks, Jason Alleman.
Let's call it that, but not insult them, right? So I think I built this. Game of Thrones was on. Any Game of Thrones fans? I don't know if you're a Game of Thrones fan.
I have not seen Game of Thrones, but there are a lot of fans out there.
So it's too late for me to ruin it for anyone. But there was a time where we thought the dragon was good, and then the dragon went a little bit nuts. And this was right before that episode. So I thought I'll build a little flying dragon, but I wanted to build the cogs out of Lego. I'll see if I can actually turn it and make it work. So I wanted to have a little bit of flying motion. That didn't work, did it? Partial flying. See, it's not that great. So you were so polite when you said that great work. This has just been reassembled as well. There we go. I have to do different pressures as I turn it because the middle one is.
You have to have the proper touch with it.
Correct. And I don't always have it. So that I actually quite like that. And I just got some random pieces up here. I had a big elves castle, and this is like the middle section of it, which I kept because I'm kind of bordering on playing with that steampunk look. So with my windmill, I kept that. I kept my castle gate, and then I've been working on a water wheel. And I really like always like the hose piece or the flex tube. It's in a lot of my builds, and I'm trying to figure out how I can integrate that. Oh, it turns that way with this one and just get some motion. So what happens, I'll often build something and have it sit there for a while and get dissatisfied with it. But rather than break it, I'll come back to it later and be like, okay, now I know how I'm going to use it. So.
Yeah, you just kind of think up ideas as you see it sitting there on the shelf.
Yeah, and then I've got more of the IKEA shelving. So some of this stuff is, what do I have, like wings, like I keep categories of wings, and there's not many wings in there. Sails, and I like to use fabric in my builds. Some other bulk stuff I just kind of put up there and hide and forget about. And then this is, for anyone who's bought the Lego pick-a-brick stuff, like you have like a million of the cups. This is all that's left of my cup. I can't stand the cups. They're a pain, but some of those still stay around. But these are some of the things from my kids. Like what I really got in first of all, it's like my son's first little
his
Minecraft mock card.
Yeah.
So he was 8 at the time. So that's cool. And then he'd sit in here and he's very Ninjago inspired. So I kept all his Ninjago drawings.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, he's gonna hate it when he gets his devices back and sees YouTube one day. Like, what?
His son's first mock card. That's a unique memory there.
Yeah, it is. And actually, that was the year Minecraft came out. So for him, he put a bunch of Minecraft stuff together. So it was his creation with a bunch of sets.
Sure.
So pleased to have that there.
No, that's fun stuff. I'm glad you saved that.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, that's
some GBC kits you've got there.
Yeah, there they are. They'll probably stay there for a while.
Anyone who's watched our GBC videos, you've always heard mention of the workshop modules, and this is what they're talking about.
Yeah, I bought a few of them. You can buy one per registrant, and because I wanted to build a GBC module. And they sit up here, and they'll probably store stuff on them. I think GBC is brilliant, right? It's so smart and so mesmerizing. But I think you have to be really strict and disciplined with it, and that's not me in many areas of my life, and especially Lego build. I'm so free form that I don't think I'll do it.
You're better at decorating the modules than doing the technical.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
you need someone to do the technical aspects, and then you'll decorate.
I'll try to make it pretty if I can do that. That'd be good. And then I have these on hand. This is with the hose and like a 1x2 brick. Like my favorite of a piece is the 16x16 plate. I use them in everything. I think they're so much stronger than base plates, and I normally have about 5 bins of these full, and I've got less than 2. The rest of them are in these builds over here, and probably in these bins down here that have broken up creations that are sitting there. So
we've also got the little tiny drawers here.
Oh yeah,
so that's the really small pieces.
Yeah, actually, so whenever I buy stuff at the Lego store, off the back wall on the pick-a-brick, I try to buy the quantity that I know will slide into one of these. These are from the Container Store. I like them. They're bigger than the normal, you'll see some of the shelves, the normal ones that most people have. And I can see in them, and they're kind of a little bit heavier duty. So I do keep all my little flower pieces and some of the wedges in there. And I started to sort Technic, but it didn't go very well. Got a piece of chain in there. I lose focus on sorting really, really quickly. I have 9 bins of Technic over there that you can sort if you want to.
We can just after we finish the video, just sit here and do a live stream of us sorting.
Come on now, yeah. Someone probably wants to do it, and you're welcome to do it. We'll feed them and give them drinks. And,
there you go.
And Lego for free.
After Bricks for Alabama every year now, you gotta have people.
All for it. So,
yes. Yeah. No, that's awesome. But yeah, I think you got a pretty good system, and it seems to work well for you and the way you build.
It does. And then I was going to tell you these shelves over here. So these ones. So these came from Costco. These bins. And they have lids and they have handles, but I pop the handles off to make it easy to move them in and out. And then these ones came from, there's a discount tool store, Harbor Freight Tools.
Yeah.
I think these are like $2 a piece, these bigger bins, and then they stack on top of each other nicely as well. If you want to stack, I'm trying to see if you're a stacker. I'm not a stacker, but they go quite nicely.
Oh, right. So
Kind of
it's
sit on, so. But I find if you do that, it's hard to get anything that's stuck in there, so you can't really fill it big. But at least you've got the portability of putting it on and taking it off at the same time. So.
That's a nice system.
There.
Yeah, it's always crazy to me how like Lego Builders mix and match. You've got like several different styles represented here in the drawers and everything, and you just gotta find what works and pick stuff up over the years.
That's it. It is every. There's a reason for them being different, and they need to be different as well. For me, I think having this many 1x2 bricks in one of these is too much. It's harder for me to reach them. It's just weird how my hand goes in the box differently, and grabs them differently. So yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So we can turn to this wall over here then.
Okay.
And I know you mentioned, let's see, you got a bunch of Technic right here. What else do you keep in this
Yeah,
section?
it's much of the same, right? So yeah, lots of Technic stuff. And I'm a fan of using Technic. So, but I'll normally just go ahead and grab some of these longer rods, and I'll build little frames out of them inside stuff. I mean, you saw some stuff in that tower, but I've got this. This is the base plate, or the base for my Stonehenge build. And I have Technic, it's basically Technic frame all in that, because it's a lighter load on it, so it's less brick when I'm building, and then I can connect it if I want to connect it.
So right, I think Technic is definitely one of the best ways to do kind of support structure, anything internal.
Yeah.
That's always, it's better than just using like a ton of 2x4 bricks or something if you can do that.
I'm in agreement, and with that, this is the other piece. There's a bigger one of those, which I think I've used them all. Had tons of them before. Whatever that is called, I like those as well. So, because again, it gives strength, and I like to build the Technic at different angles as well, so everything's pushing against itself rather than just like stacking up.
And then up here we see the real tools of the trade. These right here, you got the knife, the mallet, and like what is this?
That is my brick separator there. Yeah. So yeah, the mallet, absolutely, full fan of that. The knife, yes. That yeah. So I've cut a Lego before. Clearly, because I have a knife up here. And then this little tool, I was sorting my tools downstairs in the tool room, and I found it. I was like, what is that? Why is that in with my screwdrivers? And it is perfect for anything that's really pressed down too hard. It would get under there and pop it up. It'd also scratch it, but I'd rather have it up, and I'm okay with a bit of scratch on it. So those are my real tools of the trade. So, but yeah, over here I have a lot of these are my 1x bricks. So I do the same thing as I do over there, sorted by colour. Again, I'm out of brown a bit, but I have a lot of blue and black, white, orange, most colours I have. Lavender and purples I think I put together. And then some different like textured tile.
Oh yeah, the ones with like the ridges.
Yeah, I don't mind keeping that together because you can kind of, the black and the greys tend to contrast it against each other. So like in a black pot, I could never find a 1x3 in there because it all looks the same. So at one point I did mix like whites and blacks, I mixed together, and different types of greys I did. But you just get bored of it and decide, oh, I want all grey. It looks more impressive that way.
As a fan of the Western theme, I love your giant tote of log bricks there. Yes.
Do you want to build something?
We should.
There's a lot of log brick. A lot of it. I think I told Kevin Hinkle I have a big supply of it. He's like, no, you don't. This is just stuff that's not in the bins everywhere that I have from all my builds. So this is unused stuff that's sorted. I probably have 2 or 3 times as much of this. I went a bit crazy when I first got used to Bricklink.
You're not the only person who's done that.
I was like, 100 for 0.5. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, as many times as you do, and then you end up with enough to build a Fort Laredo set, right?
Yeah,
large scale
exactly.
one. Yeah. So there's that. Do I have anything else in there? I don't. That's basically, I've got some empty drawers, which is sad, isn't it, really?
Well, it's good, though. It means you have room to sort more and expand, because the problem is once you run out of space, well, then what are you going to do?
That's good. I got good potential to put more stuff in there. So, yeah.
That works well.
So
then what is this just kind of builds that are taken apart as well?
Yeah, that's some Stonehenge in there, just kind of packed up with some bubble wrap. When I do stuff like that, just a little bit of bubble wrap. My main thing when I'm transporting is that nothing moves. Don't really care how it's stacked on. I found if it doesn't move in the box, it doesn't break. If it moves in the box, it breaks. When you're driving, you just hear that little click. Like, oh, what's come off? Yeah, and here's my excess supply of
It looks like a paintbrush.
It does look like a paintbrush, doesn't it? Yeah. This is my favourite thing to build with, period. And I don't think it was on Lug Bulk when I've been looking at Lug Bulk. I haven't found it on there, so let's see if it gets there this year, and I'll have a lot of it. I've got in mind, actually, and I probably won't do it, but someone will, to build a boat or something. That way with a hull, so you've actually got like the thin wood timbers. So to go there, I've just got to find a way to connect it right, and then you can really curve a boat hull properly.
Give that kind of plank effect almost.
Yeah,
like a curve.
I don't know how I would do it, but that's what I would love to do. If I got enough, I'd probably play around with it. So.
I'm sure you could figure it out.
Yeah, that's probably where glue might come in handy for that. And in that situation, I might be okay with it, because I don't know. We'll see. All right, over here.
Duplo?
Duplo. I like Duplo. Lots of it. That's all I've got left at the moment, but that's often a mainstay in my builds as well, in supporting the builds. So I'm a fan when any friends I see they post on social media that they're getting rid of their kids' Duplo. I'm like, yes, please. I'll happily come and get it from you right now. I'll stop what I'm doing. But yeah, loads of Duplo. And then in here is where I keep base plates, which we just don't really use them. So they're just sitting here because for me they're so flimsy, and I use so many of the 16 by 16 plates. That's a cool moon base.
Right, the old raised ones are so fantastic.
They are kind of cool. Yeah, and then I did get these. I got these really cheap. I like these. These are the, was that 16 by 32? Is that right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when I built the Death Star trench run, the bottom was all made out of this, and I could just pick them up and slide them in. It made it really, really easy transportation. But someone they sold them and had glue all over them. And I don't know how I got it off, but it was really easy to get the glue off. So I like that. If I'm using a base plate, that's one of my favourite ones to use.
Yeah, you can build modular on them and then attach them up. Yeah. And that works well a lot of the time.
And then we have down here just unsorted Lego, which will stay unsorted for a while. I think that's the battery fell out of that now.
The battery. One of those old space sets.
Yeah. So I used to buy bulk Lego when I see it, kind of like the Duplo, and then you just have it sitting there, never sorted. So I will dig through looking for a piece sometimes. And this is one of 4 boxes like that from when I built my Endor. I just can't.
The Endor graveyard box.
It is. The lesson learned from breaking that set and pushing it off, it was fun. And the kids enjoyed it, but brown Lego breaks anyway, and brown Lego when it breaks.
Oh, when you push it onto the floor.
Really breaks. So I'm like sorting that, half of it won't be usable.
Yeah, the brown Lego thing is so crazy. Have you ever heard a reason for that? Like why that breaks easier? Then I don't think I've ever heard an explanation for that.
I don't, but you know, if that's the only thing that breaks, I'm okay with that, right? It's all right. But I've found that I can use it in one build. If that build stays together for a while, that's great. But if I think it's been built for 6 months or so, I can't use that brick again. I don't know. There's got to be something to do with it and the strength and the pressure that's being put on it. Who knows what?
Right.
But it doesn't last long. So I'm nervous about ever trying to use those log pieces in something.
You think you're going to start crumbling apart.
Yeah. And then just some random stuff here. Like this is my daughter's little play area. She make a little build. So for me, you know, I think I've told you, I'm in this because my kids are in it and they got interested in it, and we'll spend a lot of time in here just building and playing. And,
yeah.
So they can use any piece that they want, and the rule also applies that I can use any piece they want. So if there's a set lying around and I see something, I'm taking it if you haven't finished that set build, which never gets finished. I think my kids' little ninja run, and we'll play The Office and they'll just come in and build something, just piddling for the fun of it. And I like that.
Sure.
Doesn't have to be anything. My daughter will open a set and this will be it. Be like, oh, this is so good. And done.
Into a mock it goes.
That's it. Or sometimes we'll come in and just put a few pieces together, and that's the fun of it as well.
But you don't actually do much set building yourself, which I think is really interesting. So how many sets would you say, like as an 8-ball, you built?
Like as an adult fan of Lego for my own satisfaction, 0. I don't think I have. And I can list you the sets I had as a kid, which is like 4 of them. And there was a space one, there was a fire station, which I have the fire station up there. I had a castle which I never made, And I don't know the other one I had, so I had 4 sets. Never made a set up, like a proper one. But my kids, I've done a few of them, and I think I did build a few Ninjago sets. They're all tucked in there now in boxes for when the kids were younger. And obviously the castle set that I built. But for myself, no, none at all really. Just lose focus really quickly on it, and it just doesn't interest me. But I see the benefit in maybe learning some techniques. Like I've seen some of the creator sets and thought, I'll get one of those and I'll see how they've done that. But I've never quite got to that stage. So I'm guilty of opening big boxes, pulling the pieces out, just putting them back in and then trying to sell it cheaper than I bought it for, which I'm losing money, but it's just what happens. You just want those certain pieces. Just want a piece or two, yeah.
But that's a really interesting dynamic, because I think most AFOLs, even if they build mocks, they still have those sets they really want to build and like do stuff with. But for you, it's just pretty much purely about the custom builds and just messing around with the pieces.
It is. Really,
building the sets is not something you're as interested in.
It's not. Now, to your point about things I'd really like to have and have built, there are some. I'm just never going to do it. So I'd like to, I'll just never get to it. Really. So, yeah. But no sets, then I'll let, she'll have a couple of her little sets built to play with, and when she's done as well, she's really good. We'll just trash them and put them in a box and then pull what we need from them. But I was very Lord business style, like with my son when he had his Lego when he was young, and the Lego movie kind of broke me. So I'm all for just not having sets in one piece.
That was the point of it, I think.
It was the point of it, yeah. You did good. Yeah, I've got stuff to demonstrate for that as well. So I listened, I was a good boy. So, but here, let me show you some of these things. The other things I had. So I have bunches of slopes for rockworks up here. So it's the same IKEA drawer. Some things might get bagged. Like if I get them in bulk, I'll keep them bagged up. And then I have a bunch of stuff that's unsorted but sorted. Right, so pink unsorted, which I forget about these drawers, brown, and red. Is that Lego? That is WNR, made in China. That's not Lego.
I've never seen that element before.
It's a great element. That's a good one. Do you want that as a souvenir?
Oh, thank you, but
okay, you're good. I'll put it back there. That would be good. And then what else have we got? Yeah, so I actually have a lot more than I realised, and I'll get to go into my drawers near me and realise I don't have something, order it on Bricklink, then I walk past the unsorted drawer, I'm like, oh, it's probably in there actually.
Right.
And normally, typically
this is why you're supposed to sort your Lego.
This is why you're supposed to sort your Lego, for that reason. But it's unsorted, sorted. Does that make sense? I think that should be a category of sorting.
Yeah, so you at least have a general idea.
Yeah. And then what do we have over here? We've got, these are excess minifigure drawers. I try to recycle minifigures as much as I can. Normally sell them when I go to shows, but still have loads of them. That's probably driving someone crazy. That's a cool one. I quite like that. Little man in a car. Actually, I've got to build. Actually, you asked what I was wanting to build this weekend. I'd like to build Talladega Super Raceway. I started to build it. Yeah, because it's close to us, and I had designed the banked curve on it and built a little bit of it, but it turned out to be a lot bigger than I wanted it to be, so I shelved it. But that might inspire me. But again, I used to always want my kids to have their minifigures intact. Now I don't care. Duplo animals. I have a weird connection with Duplo animals. I just think they're cute.
You got every variation on the elephant.
We do. I think I will have a zoo at some stage. There's been a few times that we've sat down to build a zoo, and it hasn't happened, but it might happen. And I think some of these are probably a better scale to a minifigure than the like the Friends figures or anything, or things like that. So there's a little.
Adorable.
I'm glad you think so. Would you like a bunny rabbit souvenir?
No. You need it for your zoo.
I do need it for the zoo. Yeah. So anyway, I'll randomly buy those. This is our stuff we've got back from Brick Fair, sitting here. These are cool. Actually, these are cool as well.
So these are some purchases from the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Little narwhals. I just think they're neat. Might use those because I like to have fun builds that, like, especially girls would be interested in. But it always seems like boys and adults get interested in them. And then Steven Erickson had something at the show. We had these little jellyfish using these pieces.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it was beautiful, so I bought a bunch of those.
For people who haven't been to a lot of conventions, one of the dangers is definitely the vendors and people selling stuff. And next thing you know, you've just bought all these pieces and everything.
And we're back. These are really cool, though. So I bought these from one of the stores, these little Lego things. I think these are Tyler, is it Tyler Slighty?
Oh, Tyler Kleitz?
Yeah, I think
from the Build Better Bricks.
That's his design. And I really like to buy these ones I see because I'm like they're really well done.
Tyler's builds are fantastic. He's just been pumping out incredible work for many years in the community. So yeah, he always does great work.
And 86 pieces and 26 pieces might mean I might build a complete set at 26 pieces.
If you think you can handle it, don't push yourself too hard.
Give me a day here and I might get it done. But then again, my daughter might sit around and play with it. So that's that stuff, yeah. She's got these from work in there. I think these are some things we tried to trade and came back with some other pieces. And again, you'll find these, like I will carry flex tube as emergency pieces.
You never know when
you're going to need it. Yeah, might be needed at some stage. So that's that.
The rest of the tower here, so we saw
that is the base of the tower. Yeah. So yeah, it was on a 40. One of the bigger base plates, 44 or 48
by 48.
And I've built plates, so it's built up with plates all there through there, apart from I think the very top level, like I think 4 or 5 layers I think of plates to make this make this strong and then not bend. And then this part of the tower is connected, and you can see up in here. Oh, that's where all my little Technic pieces I was looking for. They're all in this tower, so that the Technic pick could kind of slot in there.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So that's that. And then this is another IKEA drawer piece. You'll be really surprised at this because there's nothing in there or sorted. There's some organisation of weapons.
You gotta get more weapons is what I'm saying.
Sure. It's been nicely sorted. It's ready to be sorted, I guess. It's potential. Or maybe we could say that they've all been used at some stage.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah. What else do we have? It's wonderful organisation. But this drawer system is really good, yeah. So you get the toolboxes often have these little yellow boxes in, again, at the Harbour Freight stores, and they slot nicely in here. And if someone's really good at sorting Lego and wants to, it would be a really great system because then you can pick up the one piece that you want, tip it out, and put it back. So sometimes I have good ideas that never come to fruition. Now I'll find something I was looking for as I'm in here.
I love this old chrome head here.
What is that?
I think it's from an old dragon set.
That's neat.
Yeah.
I like that as well. Yeah. Chrome dragon. And then I like the magnets, which choking hazards, right? I guess. But I thought, I found these and I was like, I thought I'll find a way to use them at some stage. Oh, they're train pieces. That's what they're for. Oh. Maybe I should build a train.
Maybe you should put together a train car.
Isn't that smart, Lego? That's how they could couple. And then little round pieces. And yeah, that's. I do have some. Look at this sorting.
Look at that.
Look at these heads.
The build a minifig section.
It is a build a minifig section. What have I got? I have everything. They've only got one choice of legs though. Like the hairy yellow legs, caveman legs or something. That's all they can be. So, yeah. So I've got something. I don't think there's anything in the other drawers, but this is. Oh, I do. Oh, look, there's more minifigures. Hello.
Castle starter kit.
Castle starter kit. Yeah, Robin Hood. Yeah. Okay. I should have brought them with me this weekend to get rid of. I'll give you something next time to get rid of. Oh, look at that.
Oh, now this is the real.
This is pretty stuff
treasure.
in here.
Yeah,
there's some Roman soldiers and bodies. Yeah, and some of the. Are they called the tropes? The Spartan torsos, I guess. And then the gold helmets. I had those in a build. I like these.
No, they look amazing. Yeah.
So yeah. I'd forgotten where that drawer was. Again, the positioning in the room so often leads to what I'm going to use.
This is why we came here today, to just remind you of what's actually in your collection.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
This is great. I love this bin right here because anyone who's been to a lot of conventions will be familiar with this bin as the inevitable name badge collection.
Yeah, there's lots in there. It is kind of a fun one. There's my name, where I'm from. I'm not a hugger. I'm not a hugger, by the way.
Okay.
People like to hug around here a lot, and I'm not a hugger.
Oh, yes.
I've got Eclipse Graphics. Oh, I've got a Beyond the Brick one in there.
Yeah, so you've
Isn't
got the
nice?
best brick there. That's nice.
Yeah, that's rare. There's only one of those. Yeah. some Virginias, but I think it's something fun to keep those. I'm not into souvenirs as much. I'm not very sentimental about builds to a degree, but that I like to keep.
Yeah, and it's great to have the one that says like the name of the show and the year and everything.
Yeah.
And so we have a whole wall in the studio where we display all the stuff we've gotten.
Yeah.
Which it adds up very quickly if you're going to a lot of shows.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like your bling, right? It's almost like a status symbol. I can have a longer badge, right?
Right,
so
exactly.
I can actually take all of those and have a really long one from all of those. From add a couple of people's together and kind of fake it. So,
yeah. Here's the real status symbol right here, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I like those. Those are nice. So, thank you for noticing my status symbol.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm limited in Alabama though, so I do need to branch out a little bit more there. So, but yeah.
So if anyone displays a brick for Alabama, you're basically just competing against Martin. The builds.
And then I took a trip to Brick World. I got some consolation prizes.
There you go.
Who was this? Rocco, is that right?
Yes, yeah. Famous for his architecture
Put those
builds.
little things out on one of my builds and one of Zane's. I kind of like what they do there, where they have like a master builder each year, and then that master builder kind of gives stuff out to a certain build, which is nice. Especially he put it on one of my sons as well, so that kind of he appreciated that. And then I think these are Tony's. He's always around Brick Fair. He goes and normally you'll see him dumping them, especially the children's builds. Again, that's really nice for them. But actually, the real gem for me is the stuff on the right. So I'll show you some of this. I do like these. So this is me, right? And actually, this is me, and this is who I don't want to be. So I have to kind of keep myself in check with the whole law of business, because the Lego movie did break me. I didn't cry during it, but I did realise that when I was restricting my son's friends from playing with Lego, or my son from playing with them because the hairpiece might come off, that's kind of a little bit extreme.
Right.
I think I was scarred as a child. I had a castle set and never made it, but my brother made it for me once. He said, I'll make it. And my cousin was there, cousin Robert, and I got all excited. And they said, we've made it. And I came in and they had made, I don't know what it was, but it wasn't a castle in the box. So I was completely scarred by it and never had that castle made.
I might not be very good at building, but I can tell you that's not the castle.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, come on, guys. I'm not that silly. So anyway, so I was Lord Business, watched the Lego movie, and then I'm just Mr. Business. It's kind of who I need to remind myself to be. So post the Lego movie, I'd buy sets on Amazon and just slice the boxes open and pour the pieces out and be like, here you go, just build something. So it actually really was a good one for me. But then the other ones here, I'll show you. This is the little Stormtrooper. It's the first thing my daughter ever made out of Lego and gave to me. She's like, she made this and she walked and gave it to me because I was doing Star Wars stuff. I guess Rebels had come out, and so I'll keep that. And it's encased in the Brick Fair vignette boxes. Another thing I often sign up for. I'm like, I'll do a vignette, give me one. And I ended up with a vignette box without a vignette in it. So thank you, Todd, for that.
That's very sweet that you preserved her build.
Yeah, I think so. And then her second thing was a little bit, like I guess a stormtrooper shooting a droid. I know that was her as well. That was the second one. And then I thought I'll stop because those were on the same day. Zane built a house, so I kept that. That was out of a book when he was younger. Actually, I'd have more of Maggie's. Maggie built this little ice cream claw machine, is what it was. And then I have two.
An ice cream claw machine sounds amazing.
Yeah, I know. We like ice cream, don't we? It's been an ice cream day. So, and then two things of Zane's, or another one. So this was to go in a vignette case, and he didn't want to give it away. He built, how old was he then? He might have been 9. A little vignette scene of, that's something in Star Wars where Vader is in his temple and the lava, and his little minifigures. I thought it was cool, so I kept it. And then he built this, I think again from one of the books. Does that come out? Oh, it does come out. Built this and then that, and I kept it like little, this was his, what is he, HV? I don't know, a little money pot that he built when he was really young.
A treasure chest type of thing.
Treasure chest, and then it's got some branding on there as well. So it's like, well done. And then I think it's got a drawer in there. I'm going to break it now, aren't I? Yeah, it looks like Minecraft.
Yeah.
And it's got a little drawer, so I like to keep those things. It keeps the hobby kind of real, right? So, and it makes me remember kind of how when they were smaller.
Yeah, and it reminds you like the creativity and kind of what Lego's all about.
Yeah.
Like you were saying with Lord Business and not getting too like caught up in keeping everything pristine.
I think so. So I kind of enjoy having those pieces. Look.
Oh, yes.
Check it
Another exclusive, one of a kind.
Yeah, actually, two of a kind. You find another one in the room somewhere. You might find it. It's probably somewhere here. I think you give me two. Thank you. So yeah, that's my area. Then I got some unsorted Lego sets that are ready to be moved on to a happier place to someone who wants them at some stage.
Maybe in exchange for some sorting?
Some sorted. Ah, yeah, come on now. Yeah, I will. Absolutely. If someone wants to come and sort, they can have a box. That's how we'll do.
It's available.
It's available. Yeah, very valuable for me to do that. So yeah. Anyway.
Some of these smaller ones on the wall here as well.
Yeah, this actually, I've been hard on myself for sorting, but this is a demonstration of my potential of what I can do. So, I forget acro mills. I think these are, and I'll sort by little pieces, little round pieces, little cone pieces. Getting technical, more little round pieces of the various types. And I found this useful for my builds. There's more than just little pieces, but then I do use a lot of pieces that are like different angle clips, so not studs on top. So across this line here, you've got tons of those that I like to use.
You have the GBC drawer down here.
Oh, yeah, look. Again, potential. I had plans on doing GBC once, and that's proof of it. That's a lot of balls.
Right.
There. Thank you for reminding me. Hinges, I like hinges. I find them very useful. So, got a box of hinges. There's cogs for GBC. I've got a few cog things sitting around there. But yeah, what else do I have? I've got some animals.
Sand green up here.
Sand green, yeah. So I'll buy stuff bulk and think, how will I use it? And in the Rapunzel's tower, I used these clips a lot because they clipped on that brown flex hose. And do I have one there? I did. I'll just clip them on and then pop the flower on that part and then angle the flower to kind of cover it up. So if there are any gaps where I'd put the leaves, it would wind through, but then it would cover it up. So at some stage, I normally find a way to use a piece that I have. I think we pillaged all of the babies and cats. Babies have been pillaged, cats have been pillaged, horses, other animals. Lots of this went to the show and are in boxes at the moment.
You had some fantastic baby builds at the show, I gotta say.
Thank
the
you.
way you were using those in the Troy build especially was
Ah, yeah. But yeah, so we've got a bit of restocking to do on these. Yeah, all the babies are out. The rabbits have all disappeared. That was very good. Sorry, I just shot that drawer pretty quickly. But yeah, I think I did a good job sorting, don't you?
I think so. I mean, and at the end of the day, it's what works for you. And so if you kind of know where things are and you can figure it out, you've got these a whole bunch of this specific color.
I don't know why, and I'm not sure how I use them, but there'd be a purpose. At some stage, actually, as I think about it, I think about my tube. I'm like, you could do get a bunch of those and thread them on, right, and hang them for something.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You could have like flowers coming out of them, like they're
pretty,
going down.
Yeah. Who knows?
Nothing that you can't attach to a flex.
I know. Yeah. Oh, after you. Yeah, so that's my well sorted area. I'm quite pleased with. And then I think, what have I got around here? Oh, there is more of the similar sorting style. So I built these wood frames. And painting them. But here we've got things are actually a little bit more categorized. So I do like tile for my build. So I have quite a bit of tile. That's worked out. So the same Harbour Freight boxes, and I've got a lot of grey from when I did my trench run build. So I'll often see grey tile on sale, and people are like, "Hey, do you want to get some?" I was like, "No, actually, I really don't. I've got way too much."
That trench run build was fantastic, though. So I'm glad you picked up so much grey.
I would love to build. That's one I would love to really get and build again. I did enjoy that one, and actually one of those tubs we showed have the vehicles that I built in there that I want to get rid of. So I may need to keep hold of them. Down the bottom, I try to keep things in the way I use them. So down the bottom I have arches. So I do use arches a fair bit. So I'll mix all of those. Any type of arches will mix up. And if this box gets too big, I'll create another one with full arches and then half arches. And here, this is soft smoothie pieces.
That's the technical term for them.
Yeah.
Look that up.
They are. I mean, try it. Yeah, soft smoothie pieces. So I use those a lot in my builds. I don't use these, but my daughter does. So doors and windows, and then panels of any sort. I have used a lot of these.
Yeah, those are
as
great.
well. I like to build up sometimes.
Yeah.
And then
Your people don't get any doors or windows.
No. It's like this room, there's no doors, or one door, well, actually 3 doors, no windows. We don't know how we're going to escape from the room. Tires, and I keep things by rounds, so again, like plates, different types of rounds. And then I have fun slides, and I got extra pieces thinking I'd build my Rapunzel tower with those, but that didn't work, so I had to build it. Some coaster track. And as I get here, it becomes stuff that's less used. Apart from these, I do really like these bricks. The brick with the studs on side. I use those an awful lot. Yeah, and as we go, more cogs for GBC.
Oh yeah.
And I'm ready to go one day when it comes to it. Oh, there's track as well. Just looking for that. Hang on.
You found so many useful things.
There we
Yeah,
go.
just go ahead and put it there.
Keep that one out. Yeah. But that's about it. The rest of these are some unsorted boxes here. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
That's
it's an
most of the room.
impressive collection, and you certainly make the best use of it with all the builds you bring to shows.
Yeah,
It's
thanks.
always amazing. You'll have like 3 or 4 large-sized builds at each show we go to.
Yeah, I just enjoy having the big ones, and I've really started enjoying building the little ones, and I appreciate the small ones so much. I think there can be so much in them, so I try to mix it up and build something for everyone to enjoy. So.
Yeah, how much time would you say you spend in here building or organizing whatever it might be?
Often like at bedtime when the kids don't want to go to bed, we're roaming to here. I mean, it could if I'm home and working from home, a couple of hours a day maybe. But during build season, which is for me, the main show I go to, the first one is the beginning of the year, and I'm often off work around the end of the year, so I could spend a good 2 weeks in here. And I did it so I have the lighting is like factory level LED, so it's bright light. Like we've been in here for 7 hours. I don't know if you realise it right now,
like
and
10 minutes.
we don't even know what time of day it is. So there's no sense of what day it is. I have no outlets for plugs. That was a bit of a mistake when I did my wonderful sheetrock work in here. But it's also been a bit of a blessing because it means I can't have a TV up or anything. So I'll bring my iPad. And if my iPad dies, then I'm like, I may have been in here for a while I'm watching The Office or Modern Family or something. So, but a lot of time, this is probably in all the houses in the room. This is probably the most time that, hanging around the kids more than any other room. So it's got its benefits.
Yeah, that's great. If you could change anything in here, is there anything you'd like to adapt, or have some certain pieces closer, or a different drawer system or something that you would suggest, or something you'd like to change eventually?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to look around as you say that. I'm like, what's wrong with what I've got now?
I didn't know if there's anything you're like, I've been building and I just really need like something easier to grab, but maybe you've got it down and this is, all you need.
Yeah, the base plates in that box, but I don't use them. It's tricky getting them out, pulling them out. So I'm a big one in terms of what's easy to grab at. I got that work desk, it's tucked in the corner. It's not the most practical work. It's a good height, but you pile things up here and then you don't build. And so I'll often have more of these IKEA tops when I'm doing lots of stuff and have multiple ones kind of lined up around, so it wouldn't just be the one there.
It turns into like a factory.
It can be a factory, and I'll go from one build to the other. So I'll build it and I'll sit and then I'll go and work on the other if I get fed up with that one that I was working on. So I don't know. No, I think I'm all right with how it is. I think the actual build of the room I might do with my sheetrock is not what I do best. That's for sure. I talked about that. Maybe I could fill in some of these nice gaps with some Lego. And then I could keep the air conditioning bill down.
And see, then you're an artist. You aren't a bad sheetrocker. You're an artist.
That's right.
At that point.
It's actually a really good idea. I think I might do it. And I'm starting to crack over here as well. You know what? And is there no exception for flex hose? Here we go. We've got that crack. And it fits perfectly in that way, right?
Look at that.
I should have flex hose all the way. I thought about putting beams up here, but that would be wonderful, right? All the way across if it hits slug bulk at some stage. So
gorgeous. Well, this has been fantastic, Martin. Thank you so much for showing us around your whole room. I hope everyone watching maybe learned a thing or two. You can pick up some new systems for sorting. And once again, make sure you look in the description because we have featured a bunch of Martin's incredible builds over the years. So we'll put links to some of those in the description and you can check that out. And then where can people find you if they want to see your stuff in person? Is it Brick Fair Alabama's the big
Brick
show?
Fair Alabama's the big one. That's the main one I go. It's my local show. Virginia, I've got to a few times. And that's mainly it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so if you can make it to Brick for Alabama, you can see some of his wonderful work in person as well. But thank you so much.
Cheers.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Well.